Hey yeah folks, I'm on Forgecraft 2, and that is a giant ender pearl. So since you last saw, I was living in this little obsidian tower, and I said I was going to do some building on camera last episode, I believe, but all the things that I was doing were quite boring. Maybe not these, but I'll show you those in a second. But digging out this giant cylinder in the ground certainly was very boring. Took a long time, a lot of use of the hammer, and yeah, just not very fun to watch. So I didn't record any of it. And then when I started actually doing interesting stuff, I kind of just didn't record. I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't think it was recordable for some reason. So today I just decided to start recording finally. I've moved most of the base over. Over there is still the smeltery and so on under the ground. I think I showed you the smeltery. I hope I did. But here's the smeltery. Dug into the wall, and now chicken. I don't think I showed the chicken. He's there, producing feathers and eggs. I know I showed you the farm though. But over this way, I started creating a palette because what I wanted to do with the ender base is make sure that they were, it was thematically fitting the end. I wanted it to kind of feel like the ender people had built it. And it was all purposefully ender and not like too technological or medieval or whatever. I wanted it to look ender. So I came up with this kind of palette of blocks here, which I intend on using, which incorporates both technological stuff and purple and obsidian, because that's basically what the ender is made of. The ender is made of obsidian towers, endstone, and not so much the technology, but there's a few thematic things that you can kind of derive from Enderman, like the colour purple, ender pearls, that sort of thing. So let me walk you through some of the stuff that I've done. We'll start with these spawner, not spawners, these mob grinders. So what's happening here is these Endermen are dashing themselves on these spikes for the good of the Ender Republic. Or rather, what's underneath this spike is an attractor obelisk. That attractor obelisk has a soul vial of an Enderman in it. So what happens is, any Enderman in range of that attractor obelisk, which is maximum upgraded, they will run over and stand on the spikes, because they want to get as close to the obelisk as possible. So it basically looks like they're taking their own lives. And I disguised what is in here. If I changed my Yeti wrench, these aren't actually blocks of solid ender, these are conduit facades. But inside the conduit facade is a vacuum chest which pulls up all the ender pearls and enderman drops. A node to push it to the ender chest in there, and the ender chest is simply passing on everything to the base. And that same structure is the same for all but one of them. One of them is special and the rest will be upgraded to it later. Although I'm going to have to come up with a better disguise maybe, because on this side we have this vacuum hopper, which kind of ruins the look of the pearl on this side. But as you can see, they're kind of like giant pearls. And sometimes they teleport on top and then don't know what to do, because they can't get down to the spikes. Only a few ever get up here, so it's not a big deal. This guy will very soon run onto those spikes. Go on. I'm less interesting than the spikes. There he goes. And here comes a new wave. Fine, I'll finish you off myself. So, Boo. These are golden spikes. Golden spikes are different to iron spikes in that they make the mob drop experience. And that's what this hopper duct is doing. Because these vacuum chests cannot pick up experience. In fact, I believe the vacuum hopper is the only thing that will pick up experience orbs. But this is full of endstone, so it's not picking up items. Instead, it's in charge of the liquid experience, which is getting put into a ender tank, which is in here. And sitting on top is a trophy enderman. As you can see, it generates pearls like mad. So do all of them. I plan on actually building 4 more of them, so that there's 8 in total. But as you can see, all the chests around the place are completely and utterly full. And if you ever need nether shards, there we go. There's 19 in there, and you can imagine there's a lot in the other ones as well. So Kami's no problem for nether shards. We might get into Kami. I'm not sure. I think I want to stick with technology, and crazy technology. I want to make sure that things are utterly nuts. So, as you can see in the middle of this giant void pit is this gigantic ender pearl. Now this is also made entirely of facades. Because that much solid ender would be a ridiculous job indeed. And as you can see, here's a fake door, and that's where the portal to the outer the end is. Obviously I can't destroy that. Speaking of, I was given permission to remove, as some of you might have noticed already, to remove the bedrock off the top of the pillars. That is just for ease, basically, since I'm living in the end, and that just gives me the freedom to shape the end however I want, because otherwise if I wanted to remove one of these pillars or something, then there'd just be a block of floating bedrock. So instead we remove the bedrock using creative means. Yes, I know, cheaty. So I've basically, this is my base. This little block of stuff, that's my base. There's a little bit more underneath, which is providing me the basics. You've got an igneous extruder cobble. That cobble is going to this pulverizer in this furnace, producing smooth stone and sand. The sand is going to this furnace, and it's producing glass. So we're using Ender IO conduits to do that. And blue is getting distributed here, yellow is getting put up into there from the bottom. Unfortunately, the flexibility of choosing sides on this is both its success and its downfall, because I can't have one slot on here, both input and output, which means that I needed one for input, one for output. I wanted the barrels to be aligned properly, so that's how we did it, going out the bottom. If we come back up here, I'm quite proud of the power system, which is why I had the ender grinders on the outside of this pit anyway, the spike traps, because they're feeding ender pearls into here, which power this 64x ender generator. So what's happening here is, as you can see, it's not currently on and it's not currently full, but I have plenty of ender pearls, and the reason that is because I can't drain enough of it, unfortunately. Well, I might be able to with my sword. But what's happening here is basically this is keeping a record of how much power is in the system. So it's seeing that there is a total of capacitor bank storage for 1 million. Overall, there's a capacity for 8 million, because this thing holds 7 million, or 6.4 million. So what ends up happening is it's reading the capacitor bank storage and it's saying engine control. When the capacitor bank storage is less than 26% full, so once it hits 25%, emit a redstone signal, and then stop emitting a redstone signal when it hits 99%. That redstone signal turns on this item translocator. So this is a item translocator from chicken chunks, or chicken bones, which has a redstone upgrade on it. And when this turns on, that little button in the middle pushes out, which says to that button it needs to transport to anything that has a button which is in. So this is accepting. Right now this is accepting, but once we get low enough, that'll be pushing. And so that pushes ender pearls in, regulated to 1 ender pearl at a time, which goes into this ender generator, 1 at a time, and it'll be 1 at a time until this says, hey, the system is back at 99% full, and then this nub will go back in and it'll stop receiving ender pearls. The reason this system has to exist is because these generators, all the ones from extra utilities, they will just burn fuel. If everything is completely full, it'll continue to burn fuel regardless. So I can't have the ender pearls feeding constantly into there, because this burns an ender pearl a second, I believe. So even though I have a lot of ender pearls being generated, it would certainly get through them very, very fast if I just let it burn indefinitely. So that's why I have that kind of setup. And so then basically I have a very small AE system. It literally consists of this acceptor, this smart cable, this drive, that smart cable, this ME terminal, and that toggle bus. And all that's doing is providing me with some storage in a central location. Then I have a sag mill, an alloy smelter, a painting machine, a slice and splice, and a solid binder. And the power monitor. Yep. And that's basically my whole base at the moment. Well, apart from this QED, quail eating ducks. Still quail eating ducks. Still quail eating ducks. Thought that was meant to change when you look at it. Never mind. We've got the calcinator and the aludel over here now, which I've been using to produce Mobius fuel. It has to have these retrievers on it at the moment because unfortunately there's a bug which means that if I try and pull out of the output slot, then it'll crash the client. The enchanter, which I've been using to change things. I'm not using my Tinker's weapon anymore, I'm using the Ender. I really like this sword, basically, because it lets me do fun things like this. You know, it's just neat. And if I didn't want to use the front door on this pearl, then I can just go through the wall. So it's staff of travel and weapon in one. Then I have my dark iron, which I need to upgrade with the utility stuff. Any extra ender pearls I've been picking up I put in here. As you can see, I have an extra 590, so there is that little bit of stored buffer there in case something goes wrong. This is where all the experience is going. Comes out of that tank, goes into this experience obelisk, and it's up to 44 levels, which is quite a lot. And then in this room I have a very, very small setup. And it's all likely to be torn up because none of this is going to remain endstone. It's probably all going to be changed to some form of obsidian, and same with these interior areas. So we've got all of the stuff was donated by Tlove because I don't have any setup for Botania, but I wanted clay, and so gave me some endoflames, an elven spreader which is going to a mana distributor which is filling up these 4 mana pools, and then this Clasonia uses that to produce clay, and I'll show you what I've done here. I need some sand. As you can see, these have only just caught up, by the way, because all that was going to these two, and those are finally maxed out. So I'm a little short on basic supplies. But this is a shipping crate. No, it's not. It's an item buffer. you probably guessed. If I put sand in there, it should momentarily pop up, get turned into clay by the Clasonia, and then the clay will be moved inside the crate. So these here are those blocks there, the ones that say they're technical blocks. They're not actually technical blocks. They are, what do you call it? Cable clusters from Steve's Factory Manager, which contain a block gate, an item gate, and a camouflage block. And so what's happening is the block gates are placing sand, the item gates, or the item valves are taking the clay, and it's both pushing into here and pulling out of here, this item buffer, and the manager itself is right there. And that's how I've set it up. There's 4 variables, 2 for the picking up of clay and 2 for the putting down of sand. So yeah, I won't bore you with Steve Factory Manager stuff, even though I particularly like it. And I need to get some Mobius fuel, because I want to make sure it's 7. There we go. Mobius fuel is silly. It has a burn time of 102,400 ticks. So compare that to coal, which burns for 1,600 ticks, and divided by 20, what's that? It's, oh, I don't know. Divided by 10 is 160, and half of that is 80 seconds. So this ends up being like 100 and something minutes anyway, in something that burns it. Like these endo flames. Throw down 7 of them. Probably won't reach it up there. They'll take 1 each, and then they'll produce power for quite some time and fill up these mana pools, so that I can make clay whenever I want. So that is all caught up, I think. I think we're all caught up. That was a lot of conduit binder, by the way. And if you have a Yeta wrench, you can see straight through it. I still quite like that. Anyway, what to do today? Well, something that I want to do is I want to move this generator into the pearl. I want to have my power generation inside the giant pearl. And basically, I think what I want to do is I want to expand the system. I don't want to go into big reactors or anything like that, because I want to continue to be able to use pearls as a fuel. If we ever got RF tools on the server, I would use the ender pearl slingshot, or whatever you want to call that power generator, to do the same thing. But these produce 2,300 RF a tick. So yeah, 20-odd thousand RF a second. Anyway, so I'm going to try and move that into there. So how we're going to have to do that is we're going to have to basically get remote power, because I don't want wires and things coming out of the pearl. I want the pearl to basically be untouched on the outside. So I think the way that we're going to do that is we are going to look into making trans-dimensional thingies from Ender.io. Where are you? Here you are. You want to make... Nope. Where are you? You're here somewhere. I am super blind. It's right next to the vacuum chest, that's why. What do we need for that? We need some ender crystals, so I need at least 2 ender crystals. An ender resonator, which means we need a head. I've got all of that, or can get all of that. We need electrical steel, got it. Fuse quartz, got it. And an octatic capacitor, that's one that I don't have. That's fairly easy to get. We need 8 capacitors. Just start with the capacitors. Ender has new art, by the way, if you haven't found out, which is by CyanideX. He is an awesome artist. What am I doing? Just make a stack. There we go. Capacitor 8. And then we want double layer. 4 of them. And then we want 2 octetic. There we go. Cool. We done there. So next was ender crystals. So let's get soul vials. I have 2 spare. And it's so easy to get what I need living in the end for Ender IO. Excuse me, sir. You're needed. Right. And you. Thank you. No need for powered spawners for Enderman. This thing does spawn Enderman. Then we need emerald. I have a bunch of stuff. Vibrant. I'll take those out because I need to make some vibrant nuggets. Put the emeralds in there. Take it over to the soul binder. And give it 10 levels. Store. Take. 10 levels is actually more than 2 times 10 levels. You'll see in a sec, in fact. It is 1 extra level. Or maybe 2. It's 1 extra level. Thought it would be a little bit more than that, but apparently not. Alright, we have our ender crystals, and the last things we needed were a couple of ender skulls. Do I have any Soaryn? I don't. So let's make a bunch. Gold. Pro tip, if you're using combined mode and you have Natura, don't put your soul sand in first, you'll get glass. But if I get 2 of this Soaryn, some silicon, and ender head, and what was the other thing? Trans. Nope. Diamond. We want vibrant. Hey, exactly enough. So, ender. While I did all that, I got enough soul Soaryn, I betcha. Yeah, it's all in here. As you can see, lots of conduit binder. And I want the slice and splice. Here we go. That'll just do its thing. Boop, boop, boop. There's one. That gives us 1, which is useless on its own. And 2. As you can hear, the engine is fired up. 2.5. Sorry, not 2,300. It's 2,560. And it's half a second per pill. So there you go. But it's already full. So the other thing we need to do in order to make sure that actually I think we can move everything now. Forgot you don't work with wrenches. Want everything, please. Take you off there. Take that off there. Take that off there. We need you, you, and you. So we'll take this, this, and dolly. Right. Power. You can go there. Cool. Lag. Sweet. Dolly. Now you're coming with me. And dolly. And inside. Right. So, let's set this all back up. First of all, I need some blocks. Just gonna... Don't have any angel blocks on me, so... About there's good. Let's just put you here. Great. I'm pretty much just going to mimic the whole thing as it was. So I want you here. And a chest. Transfer node. No. Oh, this is dangerous now, actually. The chest can be tricky to place on because you have to put it on top of the buttons, not on top of the chest, otherwise it goes onto the side. And that's exactly why we have a filter. Right. Now we remove you. And we... we want you there, we want the engine here, we want this to go here, here, shush, Enderman, you're so loud. We'll put the capacitor bank back next to it. Although I think it was under and to the right, but it doesn't really matter. We want you to be... Oh. I think I might have derped a little bit. That's okay. I'm sure I'll transceive it. You will be transceiving to this power. Into power. You will be sending into power. Great. And into power is going out here. Excuse me. You're not welcome. And into power can go right there. Which you will receive. That should be on now. So, the thing that I forgot was some energy conduit. Because I need to hook the capacitor up to the thingy, this thingy, monitor. So that gave me enough time, and now I do this. There it goes. It doesn't really matter if that's attached to it, it just gets read as a buffer. So we want, whoop, that is not what we want. Come here. Fine, you can live in my inventory. We want to change your settings, or did you keep them? No, we want to change them. 26% engine control. Sweet. We want to apply the diamond to this. We want to make sure that it is one ender pearl. And then we want to redstone on this. And this is set up correctly, because this isn't on and that is outward. Wait, this isn't on and This should be in. There we go. So now, when this flicks over, it will continue to put ender pearls into the ender generator, which is nice. However, you aren't reading as being below. Why is that? Why, in fact, is that? Maybe that's meant to happen. This should fill up pretty fast, and I am going to wait here, so doop-de-doo. Once that gets up to 99, or close to anyway, this should shut off. And there we go. So now that's working perfectly fine. I can punch this clay in peace. And we get to continue having power supplied to the base. Yeah. Sometimes Endermen see you regardless. As you can see, I was looking at clay and never actually looked at an Enderman, but apparently one of them thought I did. Cool. Cool. I think this takes a tax. I'm not totally sure. Yes, it does. It takes 10 RF a tick, which is fine by me. 10 RF is a minuscule amount. But now this is working again. Now the thing is that I'm going to need to create more of those transceivers because I'm going to need at least, so it's using 20 RF a tick in upkeep, and I'm going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be 60 RF upkeep. Which means we're probably going to need a bigger capacitor, because honestly I don't want that turning on every so often. Well, I want that so often to be not so often. Oh yeah, stack upgrade. You hear the screeching a lot at the moment, and something that I'm going to have to do is get a magnum torch. And that's probably going to sit in the bottom of this pearl so that it reaches far enough down and up. And unfortunately that might affect things spawning like here, but it won't affect them spawning out here, I don't think. So the spikes are probably far enough out. So let's capture some more souls. I guess I put them back in here. I did. And I'm actually going to make a couple more quartz. Right, because I'm going to need 4, so I'm going to need 4 souls, and look who's hanging out. Sometimes Endermen get fascinated with the spikes while they're down here, and it creates a problem. Hopefully I'll catch one of them in the act, and you'll get to see what that problem is, but in the meantime I need more vibrant, which I don't have enough of. I do have energized though, energized alloy, and pearls forever, so that's not a problem. I'm going to need at least 4, I think. Yeah, 1 spare from each vibrant, and I have 7, so actually I'm going to need 3. Cool. Emeralds. Soul binder. Oh yeah, and I'm going to need 40 levels. See? There was 40 in here, but I took out 40 and it left 20. It's because of the scale. So in you go. And I'm going to need more capacitors. Oh, wrong. Capacitor. So I'm going to need 16 of these. I probably don't have enough energized alloy, but we will see. I know I don't have enough vibrant. Nope, nope, I had enough. Here's the rest of that energized. 9 plus pearls. And you go, and 1. Oh. Then I'm going to need 4 Enderman heads, 8 silicon, more vibrant alloy, one. Okay, so glowstone. I'm really low on glowstone, but I do know where I can get some more. One, 2, 3. Great. Then I'm going to need 4 vibrant alloy. I have enough. Awesome. Soaryn. I'm going to need 6 more. If you're wondering why I'm not just going overkill and making like masses of solarium or vibrant alloy or anything, I just don't have the resources because I don't have quarrying yet. And the resources that I do have been from mining with the hammer and gracious donations. So there is that. Oh. So I took 40 out and I'm got left with 36. So I'll just store that back in. Cool. Slice and splice. Do your thing, please. I do like that about the slice and splice, how you can shift click and it puts everything in its proper place. So that's number 3 and this is number 4. Cool. 4 octadics, 4 ender crystals, and we'll soon have 4 ender capacitors. Ender resonators, rather. So, dimensional transceiver. I made a bunch of electrical steel, so that's why I have don't have to worry about that. So, next thing is that we need to clear out some room, because we need to start expanding this base to be legit. That stack upgrade is no longer needed. Dolly. Kind of thinking about building to the north, but maybe I want to build this way. I don't know. Which way on the map do I want to build? And the map seems to be confused by the ender pearl. Or something. I'm not sure what's going on. Displayed it just fine before. And these are greyed out. Well, I don't know. Let's fly up high. Yeah, I think I kind of want to go build off in the north direction. So the first thing we want to do is probably... Excuse me. Oh, apparently he found his way to the spikes. Is we want some hallways, first of all. So I'm going to build some hallways. And off those hallways, I think what in this direction we want to do is do our processing. So that'll be things like ore processing, item processing, so like silicon, that sort of thing. Logic processors for AE, you know, just building, automated building and processing off on this side. So that's the thing. And how I want to do the hallways is with obsidian and tech blocks. But we're going to have to figure out where and how we're going to come off this hallway. So I think basically the hallway is just going to run off forever, and then we're going to have the rooms as we need them off to the side. It's going to be a really simple layout. And as usual, I'll make the doors large. But I don't know whether I'm going to want something here yet, so what I'll do instead is I'm going to carve these out. What I should actually do before I start that junk is put the sandstone in here and pull up ender tech. Ender tech. There. And I want to make a resin exchanger, which is going to require a normal exchanger, which is going to require tesseract from thermal expansion. So that's going to be a tricky bit. The electrum, not so much. The battery is probably going to be tricky as well, now that I think about it. So what I might do is I might go and see if I can ask Fireball. You Fireball. Can I make a tesseract and resonant capacitor at your place? I don't have the TE stuff. Hopefully he'll say yes. Awesome, he said yes. So I'm gonna go into his portal. Alright, here we are, fireballs. And let's take a look around his base first, actually. I think I'll show you what he's up to. So, on Forgecraft 2, the last server, he was making a space station, and he's doing the same thing again. Deep Space Forgecraft. And the reason he's remaking it this time round is because on the last server, he made it too small. But there's since been a fix that allowed him to make this sphere way bigger. So this version of the space station is going to look a lot nicer because it's just got more room. He's made an awesome portal. He's got Oh, no, he's torn this bit out. But he has, as you can see, turbines, some coven witches, apparently, reactor, and so on. Somewhere, though, is his AE system, which I think he might have moved it up to the top floor. He used to have it down here, which is why I'm confused. Yep, there it is. Alright. So as you can see, he's used the technical blocks to look very, very cool. Apparently, we access stuff from in here. So I want to make a tesseract. Does he have crafting for that? No, he doesn't. So we need this, which he doesn't have enough in Darium. Shiny. Hang on. Let's think about this. I need Enderium blend, first of all, which means that I need silver, tin, and shiny and resin ender. So, does he have any of those dusts? He doesn't. Silver. I need 2 per. So let's go with 4 lots. So that is. Oh, he already has tin dust. And shiny. And then I'm going to need 4 buckets. What am I doing? Iron. 1, 2, 3, 4. And enderpearl. He has much less than me, but that's enough. A stack of enderpearls is enough. So now we need to grind them up. Where's he got that stuff? Over here. You do some, you do some, you do some, and you do some. Go go! And that goes into an interface. Cool, so it's going back into a system. And you do that, you do that, you do that, and you do that. Question now is, does he have the thingy set up? And by thingy, I mean the stuff for doing the things. And by that, I mean melting down enderpearls, magma crucible. There we go. Brain finally got it. I know who does. Zelda. So that's his awesome portal, by the way. So over here, we want to stick all 16 pearls and all 4 buckets. And those are just zipping through. Holy heck. But if we go here, get our buckets out. Right, there we go. And go back to fireballs. Right, it's on the inside. So our shiny dust, ooh, not shiny. I did it again. I can't type. And our silver. Cool. I do need this crafting table. Pulverized tin, pulverized shiny. Oh, really? Yeah. I did the wrong amount. So, let's get tin. 1, 2, 3, 4. This, and that. Okay, so next bit is pyrovium, which he has one of. Can he make more? Yeah, he can. So let's just ask for 10. Which is more than enough. It's actually only need 8. Did he have an induction furnace? Yeah, I don't see one. That could be a problem. Zeldo has an induction furnace. Although, come to think of it, might be able to do it in a sag mill. Not a sag mill, a... No, you can't. Okay. Never mind. Because I know you can now make Inderium in a alloy smelter, but it requires a different recipe. So we want you. Do this. Lock flux slot. Huh. Don't know what that means. And that is his. So we want our 16 Inderium. Right. Back to the portal hub and back to fireballs. Come to think of it, I'm going to need to go back to Zelda's at some point too, because I need to do the filling of the Tesseract at Zelda's. So we'll just do that, Tesseract frame, we can now make it 1, 2, 3, nope, not 3, whoops, shh, don't tell him. Inderium. In fact, I only needed 1. Whoop. See daisy. Okay. So, we do need to make the capacitor, it is though. So, in there goes capacitor. No, capacitor. We need to do leadstone. We need to do hardened. We need to do redstone. There we go. And then we need to do Inderium. Great. So that solves that bit. Now we just need to fill the Tesseract frame. And the rest is history. And my hand is being weird. Why is my hand being weird? I feel like my character's hand is being very weird. Was it always that big? No, there it goes. Me. Nope, Zelda. Dang it. Turn off. Zelda. Nope. Zelda. So, I'm just going to take some 4 ender pearls from Zelda. He has a lot of them. Sorry, Zelda. I promise you can have as many as you want. I have infinite. Even though it might not look as likely. So we want to melt those down. We want to fill the frame. No, we don't want that in here. We want to get our empty frame back. That one. And before we do something really, really silly, we want to go with Endertech. Here you are. And this is it. It is a completed Tesseract. Okay, that's cool. Let's go back to mine to do that. This guy is leaking. What are you? You're infested, Enderman. Well, stop it. Stop being infested. Okay. Hey, I got some good stuff out of that. So we'll put you in there, and then we want a full tesseract, which I don't have enough Tinker's Bronze for, but that's okay, because I can make this kind of bronze, which is forestry bronze, by the way. Tesseract, and then we want electrum. Oh, I made the wrong capacitor. Can I make everything? Leadstone. Hardened. Don't have the invar. Ferrous. And iron. Wow, I am low on iron. Very, very low on iron. Ferrous and iron. That's enough. I think I do need that to get from here to there though, so it's okay. So we want hardened, and then we want electrum. Yep, gold. Just one piece. And silver. Just one piece. Actually, I think we're going to need more because I think the thingy thing uses it. So it'll get us 4 total. There we go. That gives us that. Then we can make this. Tesseract. And then we can make you. You. So I'm missing the Enderium. Let's see if I can actually make this stuff at my base, and whether I needed to do any of that at all anyway. So there's our Enderium. You can make it use an Enderium base, which is 2 tin, 1 shiny, 1 silver. Tin. Shiny. Oh, I have enough silver. So that gets Enderium base. Go. Okay, and now we need pyrotheum, which I don't think I have. Nope. But I might be able to make it. Don't have any coal. I'm really pushing it close with some of these resources though. Great. Actually I only need 1. So you come with me. And then I need a bunch of ender pearls. Ender pearls. No problem. Enderium base, pyrotheum, ender pearls. Go! It's going to take a while. Well, I've got a while, so that's fine. Yep. Cool. Here we go, there's our first 2. And then we'll take what's left of those in here because it's not needed anywhere else. So exchanger. This one. Yoink. Was I a derp? I think I was a derp. Yep, I was a derp. I didn't need the Electrum or the thing. I could have gone straight to this one if I just used the Tesseract. Oh well. What's done is done. At least I acknowledged it. In we go. Because we need to charge, not in you, in you. We need to charge that. So this, for those that don't know, which holds a heck of a lot of power, is like the wand of equal trade from Forgecraft, except it's RF powered. So I quite appreciate that. That's going to take a while to charge, so I'll come back once that's done. See you soon. Actually, you know what? We have run drastically over time. Already spent an hour recording. So, I hope you've enjoyed this extra long episode. And next episode we'll get on with some building, which will be fun, and I promise to record it this time. So we'll be doing that kind of like machine room part of the base. So yeah, I'll see you then. Bye bye.